my place, and I am welcome.
Happy Sunday. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in on this gorgeous Sunday, July morning. And I am so happy to be here with you, and I'm excited today for our service with Martha Creek. So without further ado, we'll just get started. So welcome to Unity York Region's Sunday service for July the 5th. This morning we have the dynamic Martha Creek speaking. She'll be speaking about how we are equipped for challenging times. It has been quite the year, 2020, year of perfect vision, and I'm really excited to share Martha's message with you today. Martha Creek, for those of you who don't know, Reverend and Dr. Martha Creek is widely known in New Thought. Her trainings approach deep inner work as an adventure with a sense of curiosity and wonder, a master in the art of right questioning. She calls forth the most stubborn and self-defeating patterns to create a new way of being, literally. Ordained in religious science and divine science, Martha has served as Great Lakes Unity consultant and is a member of Unity Institute faculty. She's attended Emerson Theological Seminary, master's and doctorate, Byron Katie School for the Work, and Hoffman Institute. And she's a healthy congregations facilitator and trainer. And thank you, Martha Stewart, for your message today. And so we begin our service with the amazing Daniel Nahmod, My Soul is Welcome Here.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
A divine substance flows through all life. This creative medium unfolds itself in infinite varieties of expression. It is a brilliant, beautiful, loving entity. Its nature is seen in the determination of seeds growing in spring, the exquisite display of flowers in first bloom. There is an awe that quickens the heart, becoming aware of this eternal power. This creative intelligence flows through each one of us now. It automatically breathes our bodies, which each one is the body of this Spirit incarnate. And as that's true for each of us, it is true for all of us, that the divine lives as us. We are its senses experiencing this present moment in time. This prayer sets the intention for our planet to evolve through crisis rapidly, returning to wholeness, health, balance, internal and external harmony quickly. And we affirm our bodies and minds remain steadfast on the glory of the divine unfolding and blooming all around us. We declare our families, community, and country and world grow together as one family, sharing resources and loving compassion. Hearts are uplifted, seeing our world healing as one, nurturing ourselves and others to the best of our abilities. Grateful that this life unfolds perfectly, we thank the helpers and responders and all of us that uplevel the universal consciousness with our spiritual practices, and so it is. Amen. Unity York Region has a vision and mission, and our vision is shared by Unity Worldwide Ministries. And if we can repeat the vision together, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And the mission for Unity York Region is, we are a vibrant, thriving spiritual community serving the world by embodying unity principles of higher consciousness. And the affirmation that ties the vision and mission together, if you can repeat this with me again. God is, I am, we are, together transforming the world. Unity is an inclusive community. We bless and embrace people of every race, culture, lifestyle, and creed. One of our prayer projects is praying with Unity Centers across Canada, and for the month of July, the entire Canadian movement affirms prosperity, peace, and harmony in these Unity Centers. Unity Victoria Spiritual Community in Victoria, BC, and Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor in Windsor, Ontario. So we affirm prosperity, peace, and harmony for these Unity Centers. Amen. And if you would allow me to read the words for the daily word today and allow them to be the words of your own heart. For July the 5th, the word is relax. I give my mind and body permission to rest and relax. For many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat. While these words of scripture were written long ago, they accurately describe the frantic, swarming pace of life so many people find themselves experiencing today. The invitation from Jesus to visit a deserted place of rest speaks directly to my soul. While I may not be by an ocean shore or on a forested mountaintop, I can go to a deserted place that is always available to me. At first, dedication and practice are needed to journey inward and find my way to silent peace. I learned to stop and give my mind and body permission to relax. I come to know relaxation is worthy of my time, vital for my self-care, and essential for my personal and spiritual growth. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Psalm 23, 2-3. And if we can affirm the affirmation together, I give my mind and body permission to rest and relax. Unity York Region has a prayer program, and it is alive and well, and the prayer chaplains, myself, Susan, and Robin, are here for you to support you in your time of need, or if you have a prayer for someone else or in gratitude. You can reach us by emailing contact@unityyorkregion.com or by simply replying to one of our email blasts. Also, you can leave a message at 1-888-980-6881. One of us can call you back if that's what your request is, and we would be happy to pray with you. Or you can leave your prayer request, and we will pray on it for 24/7. Pardon me, we will pray on it and then send it down to Silent Unity, our prayer ministry, where it'll be prayed on 24/7 for 30 days. You can also call Silent Unity directly at 1-800-NOW-PRAY. Someone is always there to take your call 24/7. So if at any time, feel free to call. You can also make a online request. Just Google Silent Unity prayer request, and it'll take you right to the page. And next we have I'm Choosing Heaven Today by Ricky Byers-Beckwith. And on to our announcements. This week on Thursday, our Unity Study Group class will be completing our study of Robert Brumette's empowering book, The Quest for Wholeness. Debbie Long will be bringing us through a discussion of the final chapter, Chapter 8, wholeness and relationships. You are never alone. Just to give you an idea of what the chapter is about, I'm just going to read a little briefly from the summary. We usually think of ourselves as individuals, separate and as separate entities. This is, of course, true, but only in part. The reality of who we are cannot be contained within a layer of skin or described by a biography. The wind which blows across the sky is as much a part of you as the breath which moves through your lungs. Perhaps we are being forced to remember this now, that we see the price of separation. We have known our oneness and we have known our separateness. Perhaps it is time to know both simultaneously. Like the electron, which is both particle and wave, we exist as particulars and we exist as oneness. We can know personal wholeness only as we remember our oneness with all life. The more we discover the depths of our own being, the stronger the memory becomes. So it's not a light class, but it is a profound class, and the discussions are deep, and I've enjoyed them immensely, and I look forward to seeing you there. So the emails go out weekly. The link for the Zoom class will be provided in Thursday's email. And our service next week, I'm excited to announce we have the newly ordained Reverend Randy Jacobs, and she will be speaking to us about Get on a Roll with Play today. So each of us is meant to spend time in play. The act of play is freeing and uplifting. Join us for our Sunday service this week with guest speaker Reverend Randy Jacobs to learn about why play is such a vital spiritual practice. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. And again, it is going to be a recorded service. A link will be provided in Sunday's email, and to enjoy the service at your leisure. You can watch it anytime. It'll just be up by 10:30 on Sunday, July the 12th. And next we have Faith Rivera's God Is. It's one of my favorites. I hope you enjoy it. And following the song, we will go right into Martha's message.
Where I am, God is. Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me, where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lifts my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free in and out and through me. As me, for where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever.
Hi, Unity York Region friends. It's Martha Creek. I'm delighted to be with you today. I send you the infinite, wholehearted, richest blessings of my heart. I know who you are, I know what you are, and I know how you serve. And I bow to you. Namaste and Godspeed as you continue to deepen your own practices and find innovative, collaborative, creative ways to serve humanity as divinity. MarthaCreek.com if you need to get in touch with me. Blessings. I lift you up, and this is our new in person. So virtual hugs to you, virtual blessings, prayers as we open at the top of our mind as we've been taught to do in New Thought. Take a big deep breath in through the heart, exhale out through the crown, and open at the top. So we launch in here absolutely committed and delighted and determined to live beyond our limitations. Is it true? Are you willing to live beyond your limitations? Me too. And I believe that sets us apart, New Thought, that sets us apart in New Thought, that we not only are willing to do that, but we are doing that we are got practices in place to make sure that we continue to live beyond our limitations. And just, I give great gratitude today for all the New Thought leaders that came before us in every single vein of religious science and all its iterations, and CSL and its iterations, and Unity and its iterations, and headquarters and worldwide ministries and divine science and federations and liberations and Association for Global New Thought bows to them, affiliated New Thought Network, Anton bows to them, all the New Thought leaders, and over 100 years of somebody with a different idea and a belief that this causative, generative use of our mind was actual, factual, true, and available to us. So in that vein, I'll launch in here then too with this, a legacy of transformation, which is the topic of the day. So in New Thought as a legacy, standing on the shoulders of those giants, and then a legacy of transformation and how I have lived this in my life. And I've been attuned to New Thought since I was a kid without even knowing what New Thought is. I just knew that the other religions, things that I tested and tried and tasted and all that, were not in alignment with me, and I didn't know what would be, but I knew that that wasn't. And I didn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I can even bow to those, the legacies of those other religions. Although I grew up in a non-churched family, I wanted to go to church. I told my mother I want to go to church as a little girl, and she, in her pioneer spirit way, I love her very much, and she said, if you want to go to church, then find you a way to go to church. So I did. So I started calling the neighbors and asking them where to go to church, and they were delighted, of course, to come and pick me up and get me to church with them. And some of the churches right away didn't suit me. I got kind of creepy feelings from some of the people there, and later found out that some of the men were in some trouble molesting their own children. So I knew early on to test and to trust my own intuition about matters. So I kept looking and ended up in a Methodist church that I love very much. And even though I didn't believe all the teaching and the preaching and all that, I very much loved the experience. I loved my Sunday school teacher. Her name was Clio. And I loved that I got to read and think and contemplate, and she would assign me readings and things, and I was so into that. So I stand on the shoulders of many of the great legacy of many people, not just New Thought, but otherwise. And it transformed me, and my ability, even as a child, to be in touch with what I was convicted in, and what somebody else's philosophies were, what somebody else's teachings were fine, and they weren't mine. So I had some differentiation even as a child to know what was truer for me than not, and to not throw the baby out with the bathwater, to stay open, to learn from them, and to gain insights, perspectives, to grow myself and to grow myself up also. So I bow to all the teachings and all the teachers. So it either taught us how to do it, or it taught us how not to do it. So for the legacy of transformation, the first quote that I looked at in preparation for this is from Ernest Holmes. That was very meaningful to me. And it is this: if by creation we mean making something out of nothing, there's no such thing. If by creation we mean making something out of nothing, there is no such thing. However, if we mean the passing of spirit into form, then creation is eternally going on. If we mean the passing of spirit into form, then creation is eternally going on. Now that has been a defining moment for me, that I could not, and do not get into this woo-woo, making something out of nothing kind of philosophy. And I did not believe that these teachers meant that. So when I find something like this, it becomes my like, yes, here's what they actually said and here's what they actually mean. So think about the shift then that would make in you, a transformation in you, if we will, that we're transforming here today again, and being a legacy of transformation for those people that come later than us, that will be listening to this talk around the world, that will be listening to and involving with an International New Thought Congress years and years to come. That how can we be transformed today, renewing our mind to transform our mind, renewing our mind to transform our heart, and that what the implications of this is then for you. The passing of spirit into form, eternally going on, life on its terms. And to the degree that I align with that, accept what I cannot change, willing and ready and determined to change what I can, and wise indeed to know the difference. From Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, there is in man, so gender specific, so see if you can work around that. There is within us that which, when opened, there is within you that which, when opened, there is within me that which, when opened, will place you, when it's opened, that within you, that when opened, will place you in direct contact with universal knowledge. That within me, when opened, will place me in direct contact with universal knowledge. This will enable you instantly and continuously to draw forth anything that you wish to know. Anything then is possible from that place, and not the creating something out of nothing, like, no, I cannot stop a hurricane that I know of, but if I can stop it, I'm going to. So I'm going to see it differently. I'm going to pray for it differently. I'm going to pray with it. I'm going to work with it. I'm going to accept what I can. So that place then within us, when opened, has direct universal knowledge, and that we are then enabled to instantly and continuously to draw forth from that, to live from the higher room, from the throne room, from the upper part of our mind. So what's the consequences when we don't do that? What legacy are we leaving? You know, I say sometimes, here lies Martha, she had issues. Or here lies Martha, she had ideas. Here lies Martha, she could complain. Or here lies Martha, she made contributions. Here lies Martha, she had dramas. Or here lies Martha, she had dreams and determination to go toward them. What is your legacy? Which legacy do you prefer? One is a legacy of transformation. One is a legacy of inertia, the old, worn out, 2,000-year-old archaic way of being since recorded history that's much more instinctual, animalistic, carnal. So as we've been taught by every single master teacher in all faith traditions, to overcome those lower tendencies, to overcome the animal instincts, to grow ourselves up a bit, and to spiritually enlighten, to spiritually awaken, to spiritually become aware. So this is from an excerpt that I read and studied with and from Ernest Holmes. It says, let's put a sign over the doorway of our establishment right here and right now for the coming year. And it says, the sign says God and Company. And let's see to it that we don't take that sign down. Let's make sure that a sign goes above our establishment and goes above our door, and that we don't take that sign down. Oh, then we can lift our eyes, draw on a strength, draw on a stamina, a grit, an uncommon motivation, will, zeal, enthusiasm, imagination, faith, power, love, letting go, renunciation, love, understanding, heaven on earth, and that the help is coming, the help is there, not hiding from us, always available, expressing itself, expressing as us, through us, for us, to us, with us, that then we devote and lift up our whole being, our whole thought to that inflow of the divine, that inflow of wisdom, of strength. And I believe then that every day, today, tomorrow, and every day, that I'm in partnership, silent and spoken partnership with Creator, with God, with life, with universe, whatever terms you give to that. And I believe then that the spirit that goes before me, expressing as me, prepares the way. See if you're even willing to believe that this spirit expressing in me is transforming me, that I'm transformed by it, goes before me to prepare the way. I believe that every door, every way then that is mine is open. And if the door is not open, it is not my door. So I cannot sensibly stand and pound my head against a door trying to open it and wonder why my head's bleeding. But to say, oh, if it's not opening, it's not mine, then which one is mine? Where is mine? So then present to, awake to, aware of new opportunities presenting themselves, new ideas coming into mind, how to be this, always equipping and equipped, prepared to meet all situations, to meet new situations, to meet the whole year, and to meet it friendlier, to meet it more willing, to meet it more accepting, more surrendered, and to live then from a sense of anticipation that I'm receiving this, I'm contributing to this, I'm co-creating with this, the basis of our teachings. God is. I am that I am. I think that way. I think that way. In context, God is, I am. I pray that way. I live that way. So then I can more happily and gladly share, to give, to serve, to bring forth, to express. As I have been impressed by Spirit, I've been imprinted and impressed by the divine, then my role then is to express from that imprint, to express from that impression, so that divine intelligence flows through me, that divine intelligence and causes me to think and act in a way that will cause, generate, bring forth good, change my experience, change the way I relate to things, change the framework in which I see things, to change and offer new perspective with me, with everything, every situation, and everybody that I deal with. So my business is the business of living this. So God is, I am, I think that way, I pray that way, and I live that way. So the business of my living is also God's business. God's business is always unfolding, always in success, whether I call it that or not. Always in success. That I'm partnering with, co-creating with that presence, the presence that is, that all that there is, and from that only one mind that is, then I live more aligned, more toned in the infinite presence of that, as eternal, as infinite, and yes, as a good, and not like the good and bad good, but in the absolute good of it. Big deep breath. be activated and reactivated, and may this message be vitalizing to you, revitalizing to you, rejuvenating, and shaking something loose as it has again in me today and will again in me for every time I stop to look. So to be inspired, and that's the legacy, one of the legacies I want to leave and to be, is that that inspiration, that of being in spirit, that I lived in spirit, aware of spirit, aligned with spirit. And then through that I am inspiring of myself, and hopefully and faithfully something will inspire others in the same way too. I also want to leave a legacy of practical application of the teachings. A transformation of practical application, not a theoretical understanding, not I can quote and I know what they said and they did, but how have I applied this to my life? How have I put the teachings to application? How have I tested and tried with these teachings? And what's made the difference of that? What have I discovered in that? Emerson says, inspiration is the continuation of the divine effort that built us. Inspiration is the continuation of the divine effort that created us, that built us. What if it's true? And what if we got more intent today in our dedications to New Thought and New Thought teachings and principles to not only discover that, but to flesh that out and to uplift it. So that whenever you're involved in any project, any business, any dream, or whatever it may be, to come to the point of, after you've done everything you know to do, everything that came to you to do, everything's in place, and then to let it go, to let it be, not to cut loose from it, but to let it be, to allow it to be. So my job was to till the garden, get the soil ready, plant some seeds, water the seeds, and then what becomes of the seeds, God's business. So one may produce 20 tomatoes, one may not produce a tomato at all. One may grow 3 feet tall, one may be 2 feet tall, one may not be 1 foot tall. So what I cannot do something about, but the creative life force having its own way. Let the superconscious work for us to use the superconscious, and then to take the work of our hands, breathe life into it, and then allow it to create as it's meant to create. One of my favorite teachers is a Dr. David Hawkins, and he wrote many, many books: Power versus Force, The Eye of the I, Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender, many more. So many of you are familiar with him, I think. And I've got many, many favorite authors. So just like I love my teachers growing up, I'm a perpetual student. So I said every teacher was my favorite teacher in school. And now every book, every teacher in my last 30 years is my favorite teacher. So it depends on, of course, what I'm reading currently and what I'm studying and what I'm bringing forth, what I'm inspired to bring forth into expression into the world. And what I pulled from his teaching today is this: one is not really ruled by the mind. What the mind reveals is an endless stream of options. They're also disguised as memories, fantasies, fears, concepts, beliefs. So to get free of domination by the mind, it is necessary to realize that its parade of subjects is merely an arbitrary cafeteria of selections, wending their way across the screen of our mind. So one is not forced to feel anything through referencing a memory, a negative memory, nor does one have to buy into a fearful thought about a future. These are options. They're actually optional. So to transform my experience, I've got to be selective about which thoughts I'm going to run across the screen. What thoughts am I going to engage with? So if we see the mind like a television screen running its channels, all of its selections, our channel guides, and we do not have to follow any particular temptation to go onto one of those channels, or we can go onto those channels and see, this is not the life experience I want here. And I've got to back it out, change the channel, make another selection, choose again, choose again, choose again, choose again. And we naturally at times will fall into the temptations of pain, suffering, feeling sorry for ourselves, mad, angry, frustrated, irritated. It's going to happen. It's part of our wiring. It's part of the inertia of creation, of the 2,000 years of creation. And there's a secret to this, if you will, of all of these options, is to see what kind of payoff we're getting from them, what kind of inner satisfaction, even though it's painful. We call it our comfort zone. It's like, well, it's not comfortable, but we're still bound in it somehow, because that becomes the allure of the mind. So it's like, then pray, lead me not into the temptation of the mind. Deliver me from the concepts, deliver me from the belief systems, deliver me from the BS belief systems. Because the more and more that those payoffs are refused, the more and more those payoffs are turned away from, we can then discover at all times behind that thought screen, there is a silent, invisible, thought-free space. Behind the screen is the still point, the point of nothingness that belongs entirely to divinity, that belongs entirely to Creator, belongs entirely to God. And if we practice choosing, taking that screen down, look behind that screen, then we have more and more access to that free space, more liberated space. This is an option that is always available, however often out of sight. Always available, but often out of our sight. So it's going to take some practice to purposely take it down, look behind the screen, see what is true, what is actual, factual, and what is truth with a capital T. There's two obstacles usually: the ignorance that it's always available and present, or our denying of it, or two, valuing something other than peace. Valuing something other than peace because of those payoffs. So when we value peace more than anything else, it's always available and present to us. And the more we value peace, the more we're going to seek and find. That's from The Eye of the I, Dr. David Hawkins. And the topic of that dissertation was nothing is hidden. Nothing is hidden. And then I got a quote from Nona Brooks I love, from a book called Mysteries. And she says this: divine science is revealing to us two things. First, that healing is not a physical process. Healing is not a physical process, but a spiritual realization. That's one. Healing is not a physical process, but a spiritual realization. Second, health is not a condition of physical well-being only, but the realization of a state of wholeness in the individual. A transformation of healing, a transformational legacy of teaching. That healing is not a physical process, but a spiritual realization that health is not a condition of the physical well-being only, but a realization of a state of wholeness, Alpha and Omega in the individual. So then healing is the turning from the beliefs, turning from the dis-ease, feelings to the realization of God's presence, God's perfection, God's perfect activity. God as health, is health, not has health, not doles out health, but is health, is of health. And then to the basis of many, many references to the legacy of transformation from this Miss Nona Brooks and Miss Myrtle Fillmore. Since God is health and God is omnipresent, what is there to be healed? Since God is health and God is omnipresent, what is there to be healed? There is only one condition to be healed: misconceptions. Misconceptions. So what misconceptions are you willing to look at? What misconceptions, what false ideas, what fantasies, what myths are you willing to take down today in the name of leaving a legacy of transformation to you and yours? And all your family, your children, grandchildren, your ministries, your businesses, your practices, your whatever you've got, your life, that you wanted to say something different on your headstone than something killed her or something killed him, versus no, life had its perfect way there. To change environment or outer conditions, we do not have to work directly with them, but with our thinking about the conditions. So this is my very favorite quote so far from Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity. God is giving you the needed wisdom and poise and love and sustenance to meet all the requirements. God is given and has given and will give you, me, all the needed wisdom, poise, love, sustenance to meet all the requirements. Your part, you, yes, you, your part, my part, is to believe this, is to trust this, and then to keep busy, to be busy with the things that are ours to do, to keep busy with the things that are yours to do. Freer, without anxiety, without concern about what others are doing. Without reference, without anxiety, without concern, without judgment about what others are doing. It's their business. Their business, my business. Their life and living, my life and living. The only one I'm going to ever be able to live. And then if I'm over there in their business, if you're over there in their business, there's no one here in the life that you have or the life that I have. Trust God to prompt others to do what's theirs to do. Trust God is prompting you, prompting me. So then my very favorite part, get busy using the truth that you know. Get busy using this truth that you know, not touting it, not quoting it, but applying it, using it, discovering it, lifting it up, expanding it, and expanding your own consciousness, your own transformation of consciousness, your own capacity, my capacity to transform the mind, to transform consciousness, and to transform the heart with new perspectives. From Myrtle Fillmore, get busy using the truth you know. Bring forth your own joyous world, your own world of love, of beauty, of plenty, of friendship, of whatever. And then from Martha, whatever makes your tail wag, whatever you're going to feel good about when you get at the end of your life and look back, to be really glad you did, to see what's written on your headstone was something you wanted written on your headstone, and that we're writing that today. You're writing that message today by the way you live the message today. And back to Myrtle Fillmore. There is within you this God-given intelligence to build such a world. Get at it. Get at it, Martha. Get at it, you. Get at it, you and you and you and you and you. Get at it for your own sake, for your own integrity, for your own atonement, your own salvation, your own alignment, your own awakening. Get at it. I send you great, great, infinite blessings, eternal blessings of love. So I know who I am. I know who you are. I know what I am. I know what you are. I know how I serve. I know how you serve. I am here. I am here. I am here. You are here. You are here. You are here. We give great thanks.
Thank you, Martha, for that very compassionate and timely message. I'm going to be leading us into meditation, and we'll begin with Karen Drucker's rendition of the loving kindness meditation, and from that I'll bring us into the silence, and then we'll conclude our service. Now, the loving kindness is a meditation that helps us cultivate our propensity for kindness. It involves mentally sending goodwill, kindness, and warmth towards others by repeating a series of chants. Now, it begins with us, and that's how global transformation and healing happens. It starts with the healing and the transformation of our own hearts. And so if you'd like to get comfortable in your seats as we begin, and if you can take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to release that breath. Let's take another deep breath in, filling our lungs and our hearts with peace and love. And we're going to release that breath, allowing all tension, all emotion, all thought to just leave our bodies, relaxing our muscles, making us heavier into our seats as we begin to surrender and open our hearts and our minds.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. I loving kindness. I am well, I am peaceful and at ease. I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well, I am peaceful and at ease, and I am happy. I am happy. I am happy.
And now we enter the silence. Okay. Bring your awareness back into your body, into the room that you're sitting in. Slowly begin to move your toes, your fingers. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Unity York Region wants to thank you for your support. You have given from your heart and allowed that love to flow through you and our spiritual community so that we can continue to serve you and the world. There are various ways you can give on the screen. You can mail us a check, you can e-transfer us, or you can click on the link that's in all of our emails and on our website on our giving page. And thank you for your support. So if we can affirm our love offerings by placing our heart on our hands on our hearts, as we affirm together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. God is my source. Thank you, God.
My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 1,000-fold, as the universe says yes, yes, as the universe says yes. My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 1,000-fold, says yes, yes, as the universe says yes.
And before we pray the prayer for protection, let's take a moment to envision and enfold the earth with all of its inhabitants in peace, love, wholeness, and light. If you can pray with me, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
We are now surrounded and enfolded by the pure white light of Spirit. Nothing but good shall come to us, and only good shall go from us. Go forth in peace, love, radiant health, and joy. Amen. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a blessed week. Namaste.